In this video, I'm sharing with you the different ways in which travel sparks creativity, boosts your motivation to write, and even helps you become a better writer. Let's discover together 5 ways in which we can get writing inspiration from our travels. Number 1. Travel boosts creativity. When you're always in the same environment, it can sometimes be difficult to come up with new ideas. There's simply nothing new to stimulate the creative part of your brain. To be creative, your brain needs novelty, and traveling is one of the best ways to provide novelty for your brain. When you travel, especially to places you haven't seen before, you're surrounded by new stimuli and fresh ideas everywhere you look. Everything feels new. The towns, the landscapes, the people, and the cultures, all new and ready to spark inspiration for your novels. So whenever you feel stuck in your writing, try going somewhere new. It doesn't have to be a 1-month vacation. Even a simple day trip to some place you've never been before can be enough to wake up your creativity. You'll be surprised how quickly new story ideas come to your brain. And the best part? You're having a great time, which you could technically say it's work. Number 2. Travel provides writing prompts. When you travel, writing prompts are everywhere. From the mysterious stranger you meet on the train, to the loving old couple who ran the cozy bed and breakfast you booked in a remote mountain location, to the cheerful group of girls who can't stop laughing during a girls' night out at the local pub. Each of them can become inspiration for one or more characters in your next novel. They all have lots of interesting stories to tell. Be a good listener, and they will offer endless writing inspiration. Even if they don't provide the entire plot of a novel, they can still give you some ideas. They can inspire part of the plot, a scene, a character, and maybe even a meaningful conversation between characters. Be curious and be open to listening to and learning from people and cultures very different from your own. Their stories won't just inspire your writing, they will enrich your life as well. Has traveling ever sparked a story idea or creative inspiration for you? If yes, where were you? For me, it happened during my trip to Rapa Nui, the island known as Easter Island. That's where I got the idea for my very first novel. Not only did it inspire me to write a novel, but it eventually led me to leave my job in academia to fully embrace a creative life. You never know just how much your next trip could impact your writing and maybe even your life. Number 3. Traveling increases writing motivation. Think about that feeling when you return from a holiday, relaxed, refreshed, and full of energy. You're so excited, full of energy and ideas that you don't even know where to start. All you want to do is get back to writing. That's the magic of traveling. It's not just about seeing new places and interacting with new people. When you're always in the same environment, you sometimes feel stuck. The same ideas keep repeating. Plot problems feel impossible to solve. And the harder you think about them, the further the answers seem to drift away. But when you travel, you disconnect from that cycle. It frees your mind and gives you clarity. And as a result, you see solutions you simply weren't able to see before. And the freer your mind becomes, the more ideas start to emerge and plots finally start to materialize. That's why your writing motivation feels so strong when you return from a holiday. So the conclusion is simple. Take as much time as possible to travel so you can be as creative as possible. Number 4. Traveling helps with show don't tell. Traveling naturally sharpens our observation skills because when you travel, you're engaging all the senses to experience everything to the maximum. We've talked before about how a walk in nature can help you improve your show don't tell writing by engaging all your senses. Travel simply takes this idea one step further. When you travel, you use all your senses to fully immerse yourself in everything the holiday has to offer. Every experience that you have, whether it's at home or on a holiday, combines multiple sensory details that you can later use to describe scenes more vividly in your novel. The problem is that at home, the environment is familiar, so we're not always paying close attention to them. But when we travel, We want to soak everything in.
We slow down, pay close attention to everything around us, and use all our senses to mindfully experience the new environment. Think of the soft glow of street lights in a quiet town after everyone has gone to bed, or the delicious tastes and scents during the chocolate-making course you're taking together with other chocolate lovers, or the fresh, chilling air on your hike up the mountain where everything around you is sparkling white.
When you fully live these moments and keep a record in your mind of all those sensory details you've experienced, you'll be able to write richer, more vivid descriptions for your novel. So if you want to keep your readers happy, make sure to immerse yourself in as many experiences as possible when you travel. Before we move on to the final point, if you're enjoying this video, then please like the video and subscribe to my channel for more tips on being a productive, happy writer. And now finally,
Number 5. Traveling brings clarity to your story.
when we talked about the writing habits of famous authors, we saw that many of them came up with the ideas for their most famous novels when they weren't actively working on the novel.
From a nice, relaxing bath, to a train ride, to a walk in the graveyard, great ideas often show up when you're not trying to force them to appear.
When you take a step back from writing and allow your brain to relax, it becomes free to come up with ideas you might have been blocking when you kept trying to control and direct them. The ideas are already there. You just have to give them the space to surface.
And one of the best ways to create that mental space is by traveling. When you travel, you're focused on the new places you see, the interesting people you meet, and enjoying all the new experiences. That gives your muse some room to breathe. Maybe you're worried that while you're focused on other activities and having fun enjoying your travels, your muse might think you're ignoring her and will abandon you. But she won't.
She's still there. She's just quietly working in the background. And then suddenly, when you least expect it, she's back.
You've just reached the summit of the mountain you hiked, and you suddenly know how to get your protagonist over a challenging time in her life. Or you're relaxing at a spa, and suddenly you know exactly how to get your hero back together with his love interest. Wherever you are, as long as you're taking a break and relaxing, you'll find that solutions for your plot problems will come out of nowhere. Except it's not really out of nowhere. New experiences help your brain form new connections, and that leads to a boost in creativity, which brings clarity to your story. And that's exactly what your story, your heroes, and your readers needed.
So when you travel, everybody is happy. If you enjoyed this video, you might also enjoy this other video about how a walk in nature can inspire you to be a more creative and productive writer. Keep writing and have fun writing!